Hello my friends, Josh Mason here. I want to share a quick little story of what happened to me last night. Ridiculous sequence of events. I get in my car to go to this natural spring that I go to in Corbett, Oregon. Okay, it's 25 minutes outside of Portland, and I fill up my bottles there, natural spring water. While I'm driving there, I'm ruminating on this sleeping bag, okay, because I need a sleeping bag next week for a retreat that I'm teaching. And I need to get a sleeping bag, and I used to have a sleeping bag, but I left it in Peru during my dieta. When I left the jungle a third time in a stupor of panic and depression, I left my sleeping bag there. And when I have previously owned something and have to buy it again, it pisses me off. Maybe it's because I'm Jewish, I really don't know. It just does something to me, it pisses me off. So I'm sitting there in the car and I'm grinding on this. Why did I leave that sleeping bag? And I need to buy another one. And eventually, after a few minutes of grinding on the sleeping bag, I let the subject pass and I move on to a new subject, okay? So I get to the spring and there's another guy there. And he has a dog in his trunk and he's filling up his 25-gallon olive oil drum with water, with a bag that he keeps going to the spring and filling it up, going to the spring, filling it up. He's got about a 80 or 100-pound dog in the trunk, and the dog jumps out into oncoming traffic. 40-mile-per-hour cars coming both ways. It's dark out, okay? They slam on the brakes and swerve out of the way, and the dog almost gets hit by three separate cars. I would say the furthest distance away was a foot. At one point, it looked like his head was like 6 inches away from one car, okay? It looked like he was definitely gonna die. I didn't know what to do. I kind of just sat there and was breathing and was like, what do I do here? The owner of the dog was screaming at the dog, "Hey, get over here, what are you doing?" And the dog was terrified because of the fear that the human was putting onto him. The dog didn't know what to do. Now, the dog probably still would have been running in traffic regardless of the yelling, but it was totally preventing anything good from happening out of the situation. So if there's anything that has, for me, that's good, that's come out of 4 years of torture, is that I know how to handle emergency situations really well. So what did I do? I took a breath, I walked over about 5 feet closer to the dog, I got on my hands and knees and I said, "Hey buddy, what's going on, man?" And I just started playing. And the dog immediately responded, came over to me, grabbed him by the collar. The dog's life was saved, mission accomplished, okay? So, I'm gonna get to the sleeping bag now in a second, and then I'm gonna close it all up with 3 magnificent lessons. So we get to talking and he tells me that he owns a saltwater pond. And in this pond, he uses natural spring water because whenever he has tried reverse osmosis or any other type of filtered water, these delicate exotic fish die on him. Expensive, delicate fish, they die. So the only water they like is the natural spring water, okay? So just a quick little piece there for all my Detox fans. Drink natural spring water. Alrighty, so he ends up telling me that he is in the middle of a divorce and his wife left him and took the kid with him, and he's in trouble with the law because he didn't pay his child support, and he has a ton of stuff at his house that he needs to sell before he begins his trek from Oregon to Peru. Okay, so he's gonna walk from Oregon to Peru. So I go to his house, lo and behold, there's tons of sleeping bags there, and I get to choose from the most expensive one, and he gives me the sleeping bag. He charged me $8 for the sleeping bag. It was like a $150 sleeping bag. I may have saved his dog's life, so. Anyway, what are the 3 lessons here? Oh, by the way, he's also walking to Oregon with a llama, a goat, and his dog. And I saw all 3 animals in his backyard. He's not lying. His name's Michael. Maybe you'll see him on the news one way or the other, for something good or for something bad. But the lessons here are, number 1, always trust, right? So many times we don't trust, and this is a reoccurring lesson for me. just trust. Everything's gonna work out. Things are gonna fall into place. Stupid little story, but a big theme here. Number 2, sometimes we really need space from situations to see clearly. When we're heavily invested in a person or a thing, or when we're heavily invested, we cannot make good decisions. So it's important to cultivate the inner observer, or potentially to ask somebody else's opinion, or to take a step back from a situation before firing forward, right? And another lesson is to drink spring water. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my wisdom for the day. Hope you enjoy the show. Peace.